Yes, folks, and welcome to another week of Breakthrough Brands Getting It Wrong to Get It Right. This week we have a great professor on at the moment, MS Rao, and he has a great book called See the Light in You. Professor, how are
Yeah,
you today?
thank you for having me, and I am very much excited to share my ideas and insights on mindfulness and leadership.
Tell me, what are your ideas on leadership and, the spirit of the mind?
Yeah, my ideas are very simple and straight. Lead from the front and be an example for others, and add value and impact the world. This is briefly about it, and let me share with you my introduction. My name is Professor MS Rao. I have authored uh, uh, 53 books, including the award-winning book titled See the Light in You, for which the Nobel laureate, His Holiness Dalai Lama, has written a foreword. I have 43 years of diversified experience, including Indian Air Force, business, teaching, and training. And I'm a late bloomer, dyslexic with ADHD and OCD. Add to that, the brain stroke worsened my health in the year 2021. And I don't have two-wheeler, I don't have four-wheeler, and I don't get any pension. And I was born into a toxic family and grew up in a toxic environment. So I have lots of challenges. I'm 61 years old. Despite all the challenges, I rose from the ashes like a phoenix. Apart from that, I'm very curious and creative by nature, and I create models, methods, and I create my own perspectives. And recently, I started my own philosophy just around I think 20 days ago. Uh, this was the philosophy I'm trying to explore,
And what
and
is what is the philosophy? If you were to elaborate on your philosophy, what would that be?
yeah, it's a great question. And first of all, I just when I was daily I go for a walk to enjoy the nature in Seattle in USA. So then when I was recording some morning walk, then I when I was walking, then an idea flashed on my mind about philosophy. Then that I captured the idea. For me, a short pencil is better than a long-term memory. So whatever is there, I write down. That's my job, and I enjoy writing. And after I returned from home from the walk, then I noted down the point of philosophy. Then I just Googled what is Professor MS Rao's philosophy. Also happy and excited that in the Google research, the first result came as Professor MS Rao's philosophy is health first, education second, and wealth third. And Professor MS Rao emphasizes harnessing technology. So, like that, the result appeared. I felt very much excited, and it was a positive sign that I had to work on my own philosophy. Then when I Googled all the pages on Google, Professor M.S. Rao's philosophy, then already I published a couple of articles, and I also published a research paper on Stoicism, and some of the leaders I admire, like philosophers Socrates. So all these leaders. So then I often mentioned in my teaching and training programs about Socrates and various other leaders. Then again, when I went to some other page, then already I published an article. What is your leadership philosophy? So I felt very happy that already I have done lots of stuff during my 61 years of life. So let me work on that trigger and explore. Then I created some ideas, hashtags. Then started creating my own documents. Then I put them into the folder. Then again I started exploring. Then who is Socrates? Then I came to know that Socrates is known as the father of of philosophy. Then I just explored various types of philosophies like Stoicism, nihilism. So like that, lots of research things. Then I thought, so let me explore. Then again, I like one more leader, Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, and he was a general and a leader, and he wrote a book on meditations. So I started exploring, but I do things in a systematic manner, and I have health challenges. So daily I invest 1 hour to add some aspects and create my own philosophy. This is how I started, and I created couple of words account from my life journey. Some of them are about universe, virtue, then attitude, gratitude, humanity, empathy. So, like that, couple of words I have noted down, and I kept them on my Word document. So, I'm still doing research, and I'll be exploring, and I'll create my own philosophy to impact humankind.
You mentioned humankind, and
Yeah,
the world in itself is somewhat of a chaos creation.
yeah,
With your philosophy, do you think the world has lost its way in empathy, in gratitude,
yeah.
in deep understanding?
Yeah, it's a very good question, and it's very apt in the current context. There is a chaos across the world. Things have changed very fast. It's a very complex world, and we have volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. And leading in a VUCA world is very challenging. And apart from that, after the COVID, things have changed so fast. Technology has changed. Everything has changed. ChatGPT has come up, and things are available easily. Once in the past, I was going to far distant places to visit libraries by walk, sometimes by bicycle, and I used to walk, and I was looking for information. I was looking for knowledge, and there was scarcity of knowledge in those days. There was no YouTube, no technology, all those things. And now the world is such that we are having a lot of information. We are bombarded with lots of information, and sometimes it is a disinformation, sometimes it is a misinformation. So lots of things are available. So we have to act account to the situation, and we have to lead. And it's very challenging, and things are changing very fast. And what happens next that we can't predict. And everybody wants to succeed. Everybody wants to impact the world. But things are not aligned. For example, if you look at my own case, we had some technical problems some a few minutes ago. So, like this, some challenges do happen in this world. So, what we have to do is we have to remove the misalignments, and we have to align the things and ensure that the things are falling into the place. Uh, this is how the things are happening. So the world is very challenging. That's one thing. Secondly, we need to look at empathy. Empathy is very much essential in this world. When you empathize with others, I mean, empathy means ability to look at things from others perspective. When you empathize with the world, so you will get connected with the people, and you will see from others perspective, and you will be grounded, you'll be humble, and you will lead ethically and mindfully. So these are all the things which are we have to take care of, and these are all the things I'm sharing with you right now.
I You mentioned information and disinformation, and I'd like to change the words, if that's okay, for what is truth. Um, and the world is filled with lies and it's filled with truth.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and I've often said to people that our thoughts are not our own because they have been fed to us through different methods to get us to believe in something. How does someone know if something is truth or not?
It's very difficult to explain, but for me, I have created one liner that is my philosophy is truth is wisdom and wisdom is truth. This is the tagline I have created for my philosophy, and which is yet to take into a shape. And truth is wisdom, and wisdom is truth. This is the thing I'm emphasizing. This is the tagline I have created tentatively, but I'll create a better tagline. And you were asking a question, so let me know. You asked one more question.
As I said, I was, truth and lies, and that our thoughts are not our own. And how does someone, figure out what is truthful? And you mentioned the word wisdom, which in my mind comes up to a question is that if people are using wisdom to guide them,
Mhm.
and the world, as I said beforehand, is in chaos,
Yeah.
is the world who is lacking wisdom, or if the majority of people lack wisdom and truth, and there's leaders out there in the world as well that lack wisdom and truth, and the construct that we live in, is it designed for self-destruction?
Mm. Yeah, I got your point. And so let me tell you, uh, people have information. The second stage is knowledge. The third stage is wisdom. So I would like to put it in my framework tentatively. So we all have information. The second thing is knowledge. Then the third one is wisdom. These are all the layers right now I'm creating. And of course, I'll do some more research and do it. But when we look at the information, we have to look for correct information and authentic information. We have to confirm the information because currently there is a lot of fake information, and it's very difficult to understand who is authentic and who is fake. This is a very big challenge. Everybody has this challenge, especially in view of social media and especially in view of artificial intelligence. So technology is good. It all depends on how we harness our technology. And AI, I think it's ruling and it's changing the world, and we'll have I think 80% of the sectors will be disrupted because of artificial intelligence. So things are changing and the world is changing. There won't be any jobs, and everything is mechanized. So these are the challenges we are having. Then when we have only the strong correct information, then we can go to the next level, that is knowledge. So this information should be the foundation. Then this foundation should be very authentic. And the second thing, we can go for knowledge. Okay, I have some four blocks. So one of the blocks is about where knowledge is wealth. That's the blog I have created. So I have a lot of knowledge, but I must know how to use it in a right perspective. So it's a wisdom that is the ultimate, right? And more than the now the first layer is information, second is knowledge, third is wisdom, and fourth one is ultimate. I would like to say this is my philosophy, that is truth. Truth is wisdom, right? And we have to emphasize on truth. Whether we do whether we succeed or whether we fail, that is a different aspect of life, but we have to emphasize on truth. And in India also we say truth alone trumps. That is the slogan for Indians. That's one aspect. That's the reason why I decided to keep my tagline for my educational philosophy, that is truth is wisdom, and truth alone uh, trumps the trumps. That means we have to stick to the truth, whether we succeed or whether we fail. When you look at Socrates, I admire very much. He was poisoned to death. He stuck to his values. He didn't compromise, and finally he was given poison and he died, Socrates. So ultimately, whatever we do, ultimately when we want to lead, when we want to have a longevity in our life, when we want to impact the next generation of people, or when we want to impact the humanity, we have to emphasize on truth. So let us stick to that truth, whether we succeed or whether we fail.
Well,
So
yeah.
these are all the aspects I'm sharing with you.
So truth is, I always believe that truth will prevail.
Yeah,
Um, in a world where we see so many people will rather, you know, comply, will get on their knees
mm,
and and instead of facing truth,
mm,
as someone once said that, I think it was Jordan Peterson said that soft times create weak men and hard times create strong men.
yeah,
And you know, we can say and talk about truth, but if people are not willing to face, what is in front of them and be ruled by ego or envy.
envy. Yeah,
And one thing that sort of always springs to my mind when I talk about this, or when I look into these philosophies, is that people are willing to give up their freedom for comfort,
yeah.
which in return will destroy a generation ahead of us.
Excellent, excellent. Really, you touched my heart. I got goosebumps. Excellent. So
So
your inner potential is coming out, and I am also you are also provoking me to think through. Like, it's nice. I got goose goosebumps.
good.
Right when
Well,
you spoke, I felt very much excited. Yes, I got goosebumps. Excellent. Yeah,
so how do we teach or show a generation to take full responsibility, stand in their own two shoes,
yeah,
and have no fear? Because
mm,
that's what rules people, it's fear. To
yeah,
have no fear and to stand and say, I am ready to listen. Because fear itself creates loosh, and
yeah.
loosh then hoovers up
Oh,
the
excellent, excellent,
generations. What's your thoughts on that?
excellent, excellent. My goodness, I think you can become a philosopher like me. Good, nice, very good. I got goosebumps. See, we have to see. Everybody wants to succeed in life, fine. But how you want to succeed? You can't compromise your core values. You have to stick to core values. When you take the case of Socrates, he was pointed to death because truth alone prevailed, and he died, right? But when you compromise or when you have fear, then definitely the entire generation will be ruined. So you have to be very fearless, and you should be ethical. You have to be ambitious, and when you do so, then definitely you can lead your life with honor and dignity, and also you can build the next generation of leaders. And majority of the people, they have challenges. As you said, people have fear. Sometimes they lack ethical values. Sometimes people are more ambitious. When people are more ambitious, they cut the corners. So you can be ambitious, but you should never be over ambitious. When you are over ambitious, you are likely to cut the corners. So we have to stick to truth, values, certain principles, so that we can lead our life peaceful and happily, and also we can build the next generation of leaders. But it is easier said than done, because majority of the people they compromise because of their own compulsions, and finally they don't succeed. Sometimes they succeed, but in the long run they won't be able to succeed, and they end up in a fiasco. So best thing is to stick to your core values, stick to truth, and be bold, and be strong headed, so that you can impact.
Yeah, core values are, you know, very important. And I say to people, start with core values because they
Yeah, correct.
represent you who as a person.
Yeah.
But if you look at, I think, I don't, is it Hinduism that, you
uh,
know, you focus on your first breath and you
yeah,
could
yeah.
then focus on your last breath.
Oh,
And, you know, the in between our first breath when we're born and our last breath when we die, we
yeah,
should focus on the pause between breaths.
yeah.
And we get caught up in a world where we're trying to live, where we should be preparing in a world for our last breath. And
Yeah,
everything in between is only an experience where duality comes in, good or bad.
yeah.
And you can focus on the good and focus on the bad, where you just need to pause and stop and allow,
Mm,
because
mm,
everything then will work its way through. What's
mm.
your thoughts on that?
See, thank you for a very interesting and inspiring question. And I am getting second round of goosebumps because your questioning is very good. It is somewhat like a Socratic method, which I taught for students. It's like provoking the people so that we can get the best from the listeners or from the audience. That's what we do it. And it's very difficult to lead in life when you don't have principles, when you don't have core values. So we have to stick to it, irrespective of the consequences, right? This is one aspect I would like to share. So, what was the second question you asked?
I was asking first about values, and
Yeah,
then I was asking about, you know, how do people, you know, navigate through their own lives?
yeah, you have
You know,
to.
and I talked about the, you know, taking a breath and your last breath.
Yeah, yeah, good, very good. It's a very good question. I say in this manner, life is a journey from cradle to grave. You said from in your own perspective. I said my perspective, but the essence is same. First breath to last breath. That's what you are referring. Now I
Hmm.
say that life is a journey from cradle to grave, right?
Yeah.
So same thing. The essence is one. Whether I don't know. I'm a Hindu. I was born as a Hindu. I stick to my own principles because I was born into Hindu, right? I'm a Hindu and I was born as a Hindu and I go to temples today morning also I prayed God. So that's what I do it. I believe in that. But at the same time, what we are emphasizing is we advocate Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. This is the Sanskrit one, Sanskrit one. What we say is that the entire world is one family. So Hindus or Indians, they believe in one core philosophy, that is Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. That means the entire world is one family, whether no Christians, no Hindus, all are equals, and we are all human beings, and it's a small family. That's what we emphasize. So thank you for asking that question. So I'm able to speak something from the perspective of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. That's a Sanskrit word that means the world is a small family. That means we are one family, irrespective of communities, creeds, religions, races. We are one family. That means we are human beings first, we are human beings last. So, this is what I advocate, and I also stick to Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. So, when we have these kind of values, when we adopt this kind of philosophy, so we can make a difference.
Yeah, it is making a difference.
Yeah,
Um, and I think living men, a living man and a living woman,
Yeah,
as we walk on this land.
yeah,
I think in my own belief is if you were at that vibration,
yeah,
everything around you can come invisible, as in you can navigate around it with grace supporting
yeah.
you.
Grace. Yeah, right, rightly said. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just wanted to share with you about the power of universe in this context, right? See, life is an echo. If you give good, good will come back to you. So I understand the power of universe and the power of resilience. Of course, I have some health challenges. So we have to one of my core values are virtue. Then again, one of them is universe, and one of them is about gratitude. One is about humanity. One is about then again empathy. So like this I have created tentatively some words. I want to create my own philosophy. So the research is going on. It takes time, maybe 10-20 years it might take. I don't know how long it takes. Definitely the research will go on. This will be my last project in my life. I want to create my own philosophy to impact the humankind. This is what I'm doing, and I'm still doing. I'm still, despite having health challenges, physical, financial challenges, but I'm doing it. So this is how we have to lead, and we have to think about life. In People talk about life from different perspectives. So my way of thinking is that life is not a straight line. Life is full of ups and downs, right? Sometimes we succeed, sometimes we fail, but we should be resilient and we have to keep moving. And life is not a straight line, right? So, as everybody says, life is full of peaks and valleys. So, we should learn to move along with the uh, life and keep moving in such a way that we can lead our lives with purpose, and we can provide meaning for the uh, uh, world. So I personally I read two books. I enjoy. I read thousands of books during my lifetime. So two books are very prominent in my life. One is The Art of War, written by Sanju, because I am a military veteran. Second book that resonates with my thinking is Viktor Frankl wrote a book, Man's Search for Meaning. I like that book very much. I read it. Even I want to add some of the elements of Viktor Frankl, because he was a Holocaust survivor. And
Yeah, I read the book. I read both
yeah, yeah,
books.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, that's what that means. Yeah, that's what, when you and I talk, I feel I understand the power of universe. That means we are having same equations, and I would like to say we are having same wavelength. We are having bandwidth. I don't know what kind of word we use it. So we have the similar wavelengths, similar bandwidth, and you read it. I also read it. So these books are very much timeless books, like Viktor Frankl, and he was a Holocaust survivor. His manuscript was taken away, and he was away from his wife. Then again, he survived. Then again, wrote a book, and I watched some of his old videos. So like this, man's, and I want to write a book tentatively titled Survivor, because I published 53 books and I wrote 60 books. Some books are yet to be written, and one more book which I am trying to write is Survivor, where I would like to share my brain stroke, my health challenges, and my betrayals. How I was backstabbed and betrayed my family members,
Can I
and
ask you a
I would like to
question?
share. I would like to share through storytelling, right? So all these things I want to mix and publish a book which is a memoir, right? And I published books in different genre, like I started with self-help, then I started writing about leadership, then soft leadership, then again diversity, Then I wellness. Then again, I want to publish a book, which is a memoir. So like this, I don't stick to one particular genre. I keep going to different areas. So I want to publish a book like this.
You want to? Okay.
Yeah,
A question I have for you.
yeah, please. I'm not able to see you now. Just please check.
Okay, that's great. Yeah, hang on.
Yeah, okay. Now, oh yeah, I'm able to
Yeah,
see.
I have a question for you. What's your thoughts on leadership and how can people in leadership make better decisions?
Uh, Making decisions is very challenging. So I'm not able to see your face. Now I'm able to see. So could you repeat that question? How to make better decisions?
How to
How
make
leaders
better,
can
how can
decisions?
leaders make better decisions?
Very good question. See, we all make decisions every day, morning to night. We make decisions, and sometimes we succeed, and majority of the times we fail. It's part of the life, and there is no quick fix formula about decision making. Even I just want to. I published a couple of research papers on decision making, and I want to focus behavioral science by blending with the decision making. And when we talk about making decisions, we make decisions at some particular point of time, and sometimes we succeed and sometimes we fail. And there is no assurance that we will succeed. But few people succeed, majority of the people they fail. Then again, what we have to do, we have to take feedback. Then we have to redo the process, and then again we have to do it. It's a trial and error method. And then again, when you make a dishes, you can go with your head, you can go with heart, you can go with gut, right? So it all depends upon the individual how he does it. And I think Daniel Kahneman, who published a book on psychology, he's a Nobel laureate. He talked about thinking slow and thinking fast, right? It's a book on psychology. This is about decision making, and he won a Nobel Prize. I think recently, some 6 months back, he died. And I sent a email to him. Of course, he didn't agree to write a foreword for my book. That's a different aspect. So he talked about decision making, thinking slow. The title of the book is Thinking Slow, Thinking Fast, right? How people think. Then again, he told very clearly that decision making is not 100% correct. Still, you have to make decisions by trial and error method. And he published, Daniel Kahneman, he published research papers and lots of things he did it. So now coming to this particular aspect of decision making, we all make decisions with a very positive perspective. Majority of the times we fail due to various forces and factors, but very few people succeed. And you have to stick to some basic things, like you have to think of, you have to blend your head, heart, gut, intuition, right? These things you have to blend. Then accordingly, you have to make decisions. Then secondly, how to make decisions during certainty and during uncertainty. There are two aspects. So when you're having all the information, then you can make decisions easily because you got all the things. That is certainty, and you make decisions and you don't have any information, but still you have to make a decision. Then you make decisions through uncertainty. There are two things. One is decision making through certainty when you are having facts and figures, right? Research, you have done everything fine. The second thing is uncertainty. You have to make decisions under uncertainty. It's very challenging. For that, you have to use your gut, right?
Yeah.
Gut means here, let me add one more point. Gut means again, it's not overnight. That means I have 61, I am 61 years old. I have my own observations. I'm a blend of, I'm a scholar and also I was a veteran. So I have blended everything. So because of my years of experience, I make decisions through gut.
Well, okay. I'm going to ask you this question, and it's in the podcast as well. So, what did you get wrong to get right from your life experience?
Could you repeat the
What
question? Sorry.
what did you get wrong to get right in your life experience?
Yeah, many times. Yeah, I tried many things, but I failed. Maybe I don't know why I failed. But I took feedback a couple of times because two things I believed. One is I'm a continuous learner. Second thing is I take feedback. These two are my principles of my two principles of my life journey. Is one is I am a continuous learner. Second thing is I take feedback. These two things I believed, so I take feedback. Then again I redo the things and I keep moving. And I failed many times, maybe because of my I'm a late bloomer. But again, the gift I'm gifted with some hidden power, and I'm a very creative by nature. I have the imaginative mind. Because of that imaginative mind only, I'm able to write. Because of that only, I published 53 books within a short span of 17 years. I think not 17. Within a span of 15 years, I published 53 years because of the power of my imagination and creativity. So we can't clearly tell why people succeed and why people fail. But it all depends upon the situation, challenges, decision making. You have to be very rational. Huh? You should not be irrational, especially about share market, stock market, in life. People make decisions, right? Sometimes people make emotional decisions. You should not make any emotional decisions. You have to make rational decisions, and then again you have to think through. From you have to consult with their like-minded people, that too reliable people. Then you have to talk with them. Then again you have to build a consensus. Then you have to make a decision. That's how we have to do it. When you look at mm, Elon Musk, he has six companies. He has six companies. He has got, I think he has got 10 children, and he has got three citizenship. One is he was born in South Africa. Then he has got Canadian citizenship. Now he's an American citizenship. Now he is a kingmaker for Trump. So lots of things he's doing. So things work out for some people. For majority of the people, things don't work out. We can't help. But that doesn't mean that you should give up. You should never ever give up. You have to keep moving, and you have to explore all the permutations and combinations, and you have to explore with through trial and error method, and you have to make decisions. And still, there is no assurance that you will succeed in your life, but you have to take a risk, and not to take a risk is also a risk. I tell you very clearly to everyone. People, sometimes say, why should I take risk? I want to play safe. It doesn't work in that way. You have to take a risk. A ship is safe at the uh, uh, at the shore, but when it's not when it's moving, it's not safe. But you have to you have to keep moving in life journey or ship, whatever it is, the journey, it has to go on. You can't play safe. If you play safe, you will never succeed in your life.
True, true. We're coming to the end
Yeah,
of the show, of the episode, um, and you're making me think about things that I've thought about in the past, and part of how I live my own life and my own philosophy.
yeah,
You mentioned gut, and you mentioned about in my interpretation is take risks and be bold
yeah,
and st
correct. Oh, right.
and step forward. And people always ask me, how do I know if something is truthful? or if you're doing something. And I say to them, you need to feel it. It's a feeling,
Yeah.
not a thought. And you know that things are right when they feel good.
Mm.
And feeling is an energy.
Oh,
Um, for people that are listening to this interview and are on their own personal journey, where should they start?
personal journey.
Their own personal in journey to enlightenment,
Mm.
to spiritual awareness,
Mm.
which is self-awareness.
Yeah.
Um, where, in your opinion, where would you feel they should start?
So how to start the journey of an individual? Am I right?
Yeah, awareness,
Huh?
self-awareness.
Self-awareness. Yeah, this is again another book I would like to talk about. So good, very good. The self-awareness is very much required. An unexamined life is not worth living, said Socrates. I like that quote. I am not able to pronounce because of my health challenges and because of my Indian accent. An un an unexamined life is not worth living. So you have to examine yourself, put it in that way, right? So you have to have some awareness. And people talk so many things. First thing, you have to have your own, you have to understand you have to understand about yourself first. But people often talk about others, X, Y, Z. First, you have to be aware of about yourself. That means you should know about yourself first. Then only you can enlighten others, right? So self awareness is the key to success. Any kind of activity, whether it's a professional success or professional or a personal success or a social success, whatever it is, you should have some self awareness. So you should have that. And the self awareness was highlighted by uh, Daniel Goleman. He published a book, Emotional Intelligence. I think in the year, I don't remember exact the year, 1995 or so. It's a very good book. And he's in my connections on LinkedIn. So there are many great people there in my LinkedIn. Of course, they are all very busy. And now also I'm very busy. That's a different thing. So he talked about self-awareness, and Daniel Goleman, he talked about self-awareness and emotional intelligence. Both are related. So now I would like to talk from the perspective of self-awareness. We should believe in ourselves. We should understand ourselves, so that then we can influence others, right? So everything starts with self-awareness. You have to be aware of what you are doing. You have to be very conscious of what you are doing. So when you do so, then you can lead your own life to start with. Then you can influence and impact people in and around you.
I
This
I will leave it. I think it's self-awareness starts with self-love.
oh, self-love. I published a book. Sorry, and this is one more trigger you have given. Not trigger. Self love and self awareness. Self aware is the book which is yet to be published, and already I wrote the book and kept pending. As I said, I wrote 60 books and I published only 53 books. 7 books are still pending, but more than 3.5 years. I had a brain stroke and I had health challenges, and I was on the bed for 1 year. I didn't do anything, so now I'm gradually
Cracking.
recovering. So I'm grateful to you for giving me this wonderful opportunity. And for 1 year, I didn't understand. I'm still using blood thinner, so lots of challenges. So for 1 year, I couldn't. And now right now also I can't type with my right hand and I can't eat with my right hand. So lots of challenges. For more than 3.5 years, I have challenges, but still I'm bouncing. That's a different thing. So the self-awareness is the book which I already wrote, self-love or self-aware. But now I'm at to edit and update. But there are publishers who are ready to publish my books because I have credibility and visibility globally. Unfortunately, my health is not permitting. So hopefully, I'll clear my pending 7 books which are pending, and one of the books is about self love and self awareness, right? So this resonates with my thinking, and this also resonates for you also. Overall, this is very good. Self awareness, excellent point.
Professor MS Rao,
Yeah, you told my name, Professor MS Rao.
thank
Good.
you for coming on the show.
Uh,
And if someone wants to reach out with you, they can find you on LinkedIn.
yeah,
And do you have a website?
I don't have a website. I have a blog, and I'm available on LinkedIn, and my books are available on Amazon. All that you have to do is Professor M.S. Rao. M means motivation, S for success, and RAO. Otherwise, you can go for this. You can Google soft leadership. Then you will come to know about the soft leadership, and you will see the kind of research I have done. And I published 300 research papers, and I published more than 1,000 articles, and I published 53 books, and I was interviewed by many people across the world in various platforms. So you can all that you can do is Google soft leadership, and automatically it comes on the first page. Second thing is you can Google Professor MS Rao. So you'll find my research and all those things, and hopefully I'll create everything. This what is that called website and other things I have to do. So I have to recover from health challenges. Hopefully it may take 1 more year, and I will share. I believe in acquiring my knowledge and sharing my knowledge. And above all, I am grateful to you for giving me this wonderful opportunity.
Well, thank you. And thank you
And
for coming on the show.
it's the power of universe, and it's the power of resilience with gratitude, my friend.
It's all about gratitude. Take care.